One frame. That's all it took. When Nike released their latest Caitlin Clark commercial, fans hit pause on a single shot and the internet exploded. Caitlin sits in a dimly lit locker room, slowly lifts her head, opens one eye, and right there in her pupil, subtly woven into the iris itself, is the Black Mamba logo, Kobe Bryant's signature symbol passed down to the next generation's fiercest competitor. People zoomed in, enhanced the image, shared it millions of times, and the message became crystal clear. Nike just crowned Caitlin Clark as Kobe's heir in women's basketball. But here's what nobody's talking about. While Nike was building a cultural monument around Caitlin with one of the most powerful commercials in sports history, the WNBA was sitting on the sidelines watching brands do their job better than they ever could. The symbolism wasn't accidental. Kobe represented relentless ambition, killer instinct, and an obsession with greatness that transcended basketball. By placing his logo in Caitlin's eye, Nike made a statement that echoed across every platform. This isn't just another talented rookie. This is the player who will redefine women's basketball the same way Kobe redefined the men's game. That single frame became wallpaper, fan edits, slow-motion breakdowns, and the most discussed moment in women's sports marketing this year. And yet, the league that actually employs Caitlin Clark barely acknowledged it. If you've been noticing that brands seem to understand Caitlin's value better than the WNBA does, smash that like button. It tells us you're paying attention to what's really happening behind the scenes. Let's connect the dots here, because this pattern didn't start with Nike. It started months earlier with a State Farm commercial that nobody expected to become a turning point. Caitlin was still at Iowa, a college star, but not yet the global phenomenon she is today. She appeared in that ad and something unusual happened. She didn't look like a nervous athlete reading lines. She looked like someone who'd been doing national campaigns for a decade. Her timing, her presence, her delivery felt effortless. Brands noticed immediately. That one State Farm spot outperformed entire WNBA Finals marketing campaigns. And every major company watching understood something the league apparently didn't. Caitlin Clark wasn't just an athlete who could appear in ads. She was an advertising engine disguised as a basketball player. From that moment, the biggest brands in the world started preparing their pitches. Nike, Gatorade, Wilson, they all wanted a piece of Caitlin. But as her fame skyrocketed, Nike found itself under fire. Fans and advocates started criticizing the brand publicly, accusing them of staying silent on issues that directly impacted female athletes. The viral messages flooded social media. People demanded to know if Nike would actually stand up for women's sports or just talk about it. The pressure mounted. And Nike's answer came in the form of that commercial, the one with the Kobe eye, the one that didn't just respond to critics but silenced them completely. This wasn't a typical endorsement spot. This was a declaration. The ad opened in total silence. Caitlin alone in that locker room, lifting her head with that glowing Mamba eye staring directly into the camera. Then it went full Super Bowl mode. Caitlin appeared alongside Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Sha'Carri Richardson, elite women who've become symbols of dominance in their sports. The voiceover was defiant, not soft or inspirational. It tackled every criticism, every doubt, every barrier girls hear growing up. You'll be told you can't do it, the narrator says, so do it anyway. You'll be told you can't win, you can't break records, you can't lead, so go lead anyway. Every shot, every line carried the same message: try to stop us, you won't. The timing was perfect, the energy was explosive, but the viral moment centered entirely on Caitlin. While every star in the commercial delivered impact, Caitlin's scenes felt like a spotlight moment, a signal that she wasn't just another athlete in the lineup. She was becoming the face of the entire movement. The numbers proved it. Tens of millions of views within hours, thousands of fan edits, reaction videos across every platform, trending in multiple countries. Research firms ranked it as a top-tier Super Bowl-level item for emotional punch and social impact. For a rookie in her first WNBA season, in a league that had never seen this scale of global attention, it was unprecedented. But here's where it gets uncomfortable for the WNBA. That Nike commercial was only one piece of something much bigger. Caitlin had already been transforming every brand she touched. Gatorade used her in campaigns that sold out water bottles and towels in days. Wilson released special edition basketballs with her initials, and they instantly became collector's items. The CC monogram, which some people mocked when it first leaked, turned into one of the most requested logos for apparel and merch. Kids started bringing Caitlin-branded Gatorade bottles to school. Her signature Wilson basketballs began showing up on resale sites at premium prices. Every brand Caitlin worked with saw the same pattern: viral clips, skyrocketing sales, massive search spikes, engagement levels unheard of in women's sports. Marketers have a term for this: the conversion effect, not just views, but actual purchases. Caitlin Clark became the most powerful marketing asset in women's basketball history. For brands, she wasn't hype. She was a revenue engine. And in the middle of this marketing explosion, the WNBA watched as Nike, Gatorade, Wilson, and nearly every major sponsor capitalized on Caitlin more efficiently and more aggressively than the league itself ever did. Reading between the lines, it became painfully obvious Caitlin wasn't riding the league's momentum. The league was riding hers. Right now, Caitlin Clark is bigger than the WNBA, and every brand in the world is treating her like it. But the shift wasn't just happening in boardrooms or social media. It was happening in homes, in classrooms, in sports stores. People who had never cared about the WNBA were suddenly watching Fever highlights because they saw Caitlin in a Nike commercial. Middle school girls were asking their parents for Wilson Caitlin Clark basketballs. College students were searching for her State Farm spots. Brands weren't just promoting her, they were shaping culture around her. And here's the part that should terrify WNBA executives. The league itself never managed to do that for any of its stars, no matter how talented they were on the court. You were onto something when you noticed how naturally Caitlin handles all of this. She doesn't look overwhelmed. She doesn't look scripted. She looks like this is exactly where she belongs. It's the same presence people noticed in that first State Farm commercial. She behaves in front of a camera the same way she behaves behind the arc. Calm, composed, confident, unbothered by pressure. Brands don't just want an athlete with reach. They want someone who feels authentic on camera. Caitlin checks both boxes better than almost anyone in her generation. Nike's decision to center the entire commercial around the message of "do it anyway" was brilliant because it matched Caitlin's entire brand identity. She's the player who took logo threes before people believed women should shoot that far out. She's the one who filled arenas that had been half empty for years. She's the one who broke records nobody thought were reachable. And now she's the one carrying an entire league's visibility on her back. The ad didn't just showcase her talent, it showcased her mentality, positioning her as a symbol of ambition, defiance, and excellence. That's why people connected with it so deeply. Many of you have been saying this in the comments for weeks, and you're absolutely right. Drop a comment right now about which brand has used Caitlin better than the WNBA has. Let's see if there's any disagreement, because the evidence is overwhelming. But Nike wasn't the only brand capitalizing on Caitlin's cultural moment. The LPGA saw an opportunity and executed it flawlessly. They partnered her with their biggest star, Nelly Korda, put cameras everywhere, sold tickets, let fans get close, and turned a simple golf pairing into a multi-sport cultural event. Fans shared videos of Caitlin signing autographs for kids. Broadcasters replayed her golf swings like she was Tiger Woods. The LPGA didn't just invite her. They built an entire event around her, and because they treated her like the superstar she is, the reaction was enormous. Let's filter out the noise and look at what's actually happening here. The LPGA embraced Caitlin, Nike embraced Caitlin, Gatorade embraced Caitlin, Wilson embraced Caitlin. Almost every major brand embraced Caitlin. Meanwhile, the WNBA often felt like it was being dragged into the modern era against its own will. Fans felt it, sponsors felt it, broadcasters felt it, and whether the league likes it or not, the market made its position crystal clear. Caitlin Clark is the gravitational center of women's sports right now, and ignoring her or downplaying her contributions isn't just bad PR, it's financial suicide. Every viral Caitlin commercial, every sold-out appearance, every cross-sport moment proves the same thing. The world has chosen its star, and brands are following that star with their entire marketing budgets. What shocked people inside the industry was how this happened so fast. 1 year ago, Caitlin was dominating college basketball, but wasn't yet a household name outside of sports fans. Now she's appearing in Super Bowl caliber commercials, partnering with golf legends, and becoming a cultural icon that transcends basketball. The speed of this transformation exposed something crucial. The infrastructure for women's sports stardom already existed. The audience was ready. The money was there. What was missing was the right athlete to activate it all. Caitlin became that activation point, and brands recognized it instantly while the WNBA hesitated. Connecting the dots reveals an uncomfortable truth. The league that employs Caitlin Clark has been consistently outmaneuvered by external companies when it comes to promoting her value. Think about that. Nike created a more powerful Caitlin Clark moment with one commercial than the WNBA created with an entire season of marketing. The LPGA generated more mainstream buzz with one golf outing than most WNBA playoff games received. Wilson turned her initials into a collector's brand faster than the league could update its own merchandise strategy. This isn't speculation. This is what the numbers show. When Nike drops a Caitlin commercial, social media explodes. When the WNBA promotes a game, even a fever game, the response is significantly smaller. When Gatorade features Caitlin, products sell out. When the league tries to sell Caitlin-centered content, it doesn't generate the same energy. The pattern is undeniable, and it's creating a dangerous dynamic. Brands are teaching fans that Caitlin Clark content matters more than WNBA content, even though Caitlin plays in the WNBA. The financial implications are staggering. Right now, Caitlin's personal brand value exceeds the collective marketing power of several WNBA teams combined. Her endorsement portfolio generates more cultural conversation than league-wide campaigns. Her social media presence drives more engagement than official WNBA accounts. And every time a brand successfully leverages Caitlin while the league fumbles its own opportunities, that gap widens. We're getting into uncomfortable territory here, but multiple sources inside the sponsorship world are whispering the same thing. Some brands are specifically investing in Caitlin partnerships instead of broader WNBA partnerships because the return on investment is dramatically higher. That Kobe eye moment in the Nike commercial wasn't just creative brilliance, it was a strategic positioning move. By visually connecting Caitlin to Kobe's legacy, Nike elevated her above current WNBA narratives and placed her in a lineage of basketball greatness that transcends gender or league affiliation. They made her a symbol of excellence, not just a WNBA player who happens to be excellent. That distinction matters enormously in marketing, and it's exactly the kind of bold move the league should have made months ago, but didn't. The reactions to that commercial proved how desperate fans are for women's basketball to be treated with the same creative energy and cultural weight as men's basketball. People weren't just sharing the Kobe eye because it looked cool. They were sharing it because it represented validation, recognition, and respect. It showed that a major brand was willing to put a women's basketball player in the same visual and symbolic space as one of the greatest men's players ever. That's what breakthrough marketing looks like, And it came from Nike, not from the WNBA. If these reports are accurate, and everything we're seeing suggests they are, Caitlin's next shoe drop will shatter sales records. Her next commercial will go viral on impact. Her next endorsement deal won't just be a contract, it'll be a cultural statement. Brands know this, fans know this, even her critics know it. And whether the WNBA wants to accept it or not, this new era of sports marketing is already in full motion. Caitlin Clark is now the face of the biggest women's basketball commercial Nike has released in years. Gatorade is building entire campaigns around her competitive edge. Wilson has turned her signature into a must-have brand. The LPGA is already plotting how to get her back for more events. Every company that wasn't sure about investing in her a year ago is now fighting for even one commercial appearance. This is what happens when a player stops being just an athlete and becomes a brand unto herself. This is what happens when commercials don't just promote products, but promote entire movements. Caitlin Clark isn't just driving viewership anymore, she's driving culture, and everyone watching can feel it. Every clip, every ad, every interview, every frame of that Nike commercial with the Mamba eye sends the same message. The rise isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. And here's what's coming next. As Caitlin's second season approaches, brands are already lining up bigger, bolder campaigns. Nike will almost certainly release follow-up content. Gatorade will expand their partnerships. Wilson will drop new signature products. Meanwhile, the WNBA faces a choice: adapt to the reality that their biggest star has outgrown traditional league marketing, or keep pretending that slow, cautious promotion strategies will somehow catch up to the Nike and Gatorade machines. If you want to see how this story develops, and whether the WNBA finally figures out how to match the energy that brands bring to Caitlin Clark, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're tracking every move, every deal, and every moment that proves women's sports marketing has fundamentally changed. Next video, we're breaking down the financial numbers behind Caitlin's endorsement empire and why it's creating tension inside the league itself. You won't want to miss it. The Kobe eye wasn't just a cool visual effect. It was a passing of the torch, a crowning moment, and a declaration that Caitlin Clark has earned her place among basketball's elite. Nike understood that. Brands around the world understood that. The only question left is when the WNBA will fully understand it too.